Father remained quiet, flipping to the next page of his book nonchalantly. I felt my posture deflate slightly. I didn't need him to say anything to know what his answer was, to know what choice he would make. It isn't fair. My mother immediately came to mind, and I felt my eyes glaze over slightly at the memory of her. She would have supported my decision if she were still here. At this very moment, I could hear her voice telling me to stay strong, to not let anyone push me around. I'll attend the dinner. My jaw clenched as I spoke calmly once again, though my closed fists trembled slightly at my sides. I dipped my head before excusing myself quietly, not even bothering to wait for Father to acknowledge me. I'd had enough of him for one night, that a million thoughts ran through my head as I shut my bedroom door behind me, leaning back against it and letting out a breath. My chin trembled as tears of rage prickled at my eyes. I didn't want this life. I couldn't just be a passive puppet for the rest of my life, letting Father and Mason, and even Vera tug at my strings whenever they wanted. Was this just how the rest of my life was going to be like? Could I really live this way? It was at this moment that I realized what I had to do, my eyes opening suddenly as a light bulb appeared above my head. Yes, I whispered to myself. I quickly rushed over to my desk, fumbling for a notepad and a pen. On the night of the event, with all the media present, I would expose Mason's affair with Vera and reveal to the world that my stepsister was pregnant with her brother-in-law's pup. I'd tear away the false veil of dignity covering this family and then use the public's opinion to force Mason into signing those divorce papers. There was no way the people would want me to stay and take care of the child of my husband and my stepsister. I couldn't stop the smile growing on my face as I scribbled my plan down. I would finally be free of their puppet strings ***** the evening of the banquet. 2 lines. 2 lines. I blinked down at the pregnancy test in my hand, my eyelashes fluttering slightly in disbelief. For the last couple of days it had felt like I was out of tune with my body. My limbs had been weirdly sore, I was sleepy all the time, and this morning I'd even felt a little bit nauseous after breakfast. All this time I'd thought the insemination hadn't worked, but 2 lines. I whispered to myself, placing a hand flat over my stomach. Pregnant. I was pregnant. Almost instantly, I felt a swelling of joy inside of me, the apples of my cheeks rising as I beamed down at the pregnancy test. I was pregnant. After all these years of wanting and waiting, I was finally pregnant. My dream was going to come true, and I was going to become a mother. Bianca! I jumped at the sound of 4 firm knocks on the door followed by Mason's gruff voice. What the hell's taking you so long? Oh, relax. I snapped, turning to glance at the door. I'll be out in a minute. Well, hurry up. The Leakin Prince will be arriving soon. All right, I'm coming. I resisted the urge to roll my eyes as I stepped out of the washroom. You didn't have to wait for me, I could have just met you out there. You know full well we're supposed to appear together. You're my wife. Mason turned to look at me, eyes widening for a second as he looked me up and down. I couldn't help but feel a little shy under his gaze. Despite my current animosity towards him, I wondered if he thought I looked nice tonight. The silky fabric of my sapphire blue dress flowed effortlessly around me, the fitted bodice accentuating my figure, and the skirt flaring out at my waist. What? I asked, reaching up to tuck a strand of hair behind my ear. I decided to wear a new dress. Sapphire blue was always my favorite color, and I'd never been allowed to wear anything in it because Father and Mason never approved, and for all these years I'd never worn anything I truly liked. Seeing myself in a new outfit gave me the confidence that I needed for tonight's events. Mason's eyes flickered off to the side before he shook his head slightly. Your dress is too flashy and inappropriate for a married Luna. Don't you have anything else to wear? What about that brown dress you wore last week? I want to wear this dress. And I could argue that your suit is a little too dignified. I immediately retorted, not surprised that the first thing to come out of his mouth was an insult. Doesn't exactly match the look of a husband whose mistress is his stepsister. Mason's jaw clenched and he let out a little scoff. You know, it's precisely because you have such a personality that I was drawn to Vera in the first place. She's sweet and gentle and would never speak to me like this. Oh, get over it. I snapped, not even bothering to respond properly to his nonsense, brushing past him to walk down the hallway. Men always found excuses for themselves. *****. It's just one night, Bianca. Mason cleared his throat quietly as the doors opened for us, his grip tightening around my hand. I felt disgusted by the fact we were holding hands. I wanted to be at least 6 feet apart from him, and there was no way in hell I was going to be able to pull off a convincing lovey-dovey wife act for the whole night. It's a couple of hours of pretending that we love each other and then nope. I practically cackled, nodding towards the other end of the room as I shook his hand off. I'm gonna get some fruit punch, I'm parched Bianca I didn't give Mason a chance to say anything before I was splitting away from him, making my way through the crowd with my eyes trained on the refreshments table. I wasn't here to socialize with anyone or pretend that I was in a happy marriage with Mason. I just wanted to skip ahead to when the media arrived. I already had everything planned out in terms of what to say. I'd practiced my monologue in the mirror at least 10 times this morning. Whoa, careful there, Oh, excuse me, I apologized quickly as soon as I bumped into someone's chest. I looked up, my eyes widening in surprise when I saw it was none other than the man from the Wolf Reproductive Center who had donated his sperm. His presence at tonight's event meant that he, too, was one of the invited alphas. What the hell? Well. He let out a light laugh. It's been a while. It's Bianca, right? I remember seeing your name on the forms you filled out. He tilted his head in wonder. I'm Isaac, I've been looking for you. How's the baby? I'm assuming the insemination worked. The doctors told me my swimmers were of very high quality, so I immediately felt my stomach dip in anxiety at his question. What did he mean that he'd been looking for me? What did he want from me? This baby has nothing to do with you. I lowered my voice, glancing from side to side to make sure nobody was listening to us as I continued making my way towards the refreshments table, Isaac trailing behind me as he walked with his hands behind his back. Once the sperm leaves your body, you no longer have any claim to it. You can't go against the sperm donation agreement, if that's what you're here for. All right, take it down a notch, sweetheart. Isaac's eyebrow raised in amusement before he extended an arm towards me. Why don't we go for a talk in the hallway? We seem to have a misunderstanding and it's a little too hectic here for a conversation about, my sperm and the baby. I poked my tongue against the inside of my cheek before giving him a firm nod, letting him loop my arm through his as he led us towards the double doors out to the hallway. Though this wasn't exactly my priority at the moment, I suppose it would be good to hear what this misunderstanding was all about. After you donate sperm, you aren't meant to stalk the mother and ask about her baby, I joked, the soft click of my heels echoing down the empty hallway. I don't think that's how this works. I mean, men go to the Wolf Reproductive Center to donate their sperm, and that's the end of that. I wasn't really there to donate my sperm, though. Obviously, I don't want my sperm to go to just anyone. What? I paused. That's literally the purpose of the reproductive center. I went there because I want a child. You went there to donate your sperm. Well, not quite. I mean, I guess I can see how you'd think that because I did walk out of the room holding a vial of my sperm, but, you know what, I'm just gonna keep it nice and simple. Isaac patted my hand gently. I'm trying to have a kid because, how do I explain this to you? Okay, let's just say my family is really pressuring me to keep the bloodline going, and I'm kind of running out of time. And I thought you were the surrogate mother my assistant picked out for me. How did you? I pulled away from him, the two of us standing in the middle of the hallway. How stupid are you? How did you even mix that up? Hey, don't pin this on me. Isaac raised both his hands in defense. This is my first time doing anything like this. I don't know what the process is supposed to be like. I thought I was gonna open that door and get to pick a hot girl to have sex with, so imagine my surprise when all I saw in that room was an empty cup and a stack of old Playwolf magazines.